Today's episode is brought to you by Banyan Health Systems. As a community healthcare organization dedicated to advancing the health and well-being of the South Florida community, Banyan Health Systems provides quality integrated care with a service spectrum ranging from primary care for women, children, and adult care to behavioral health services including mental health and substance abuse rehab. Banyan has expanded to 13 locations over the last 50 years of service and is an integral part of the network of safety net providers for Miami-Dade and Broward counties. To learn more, visit banyanhealth.org. Hello, my name is Abby Maloney, and you're watching Invest Insights, where we interview thought leaders who are shaping our community today. In today's episode, I speak with Mark Gale, the CEO and Director of Aviation for the Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport. Mark, this past year has been quite a different year than anything we have ever seen in travel and aviation. Can you help set the stage for what the expectations were coming into 2020 and how the airport has innovated and adapted to push through the initial challenges that have been presented by this pandemic?
First, let me say hi, Abby. It's a pleasure to see you. I wish it was face-to-face, and we're all getting used to this virtual world, but I can say personally, I'm not really much of a virtual world person. I'd much rather be face-to-face and talking to your readers and our colleagues at the same time. So coming into this year, most people recognize that FLL was one of the fastest growing airports in the country. We were literally busting at the seams, 36.9 million passengers last year, had introduced a multi-billion-dollar master plan on the horizon. We're working through some of the regulatory issues on those issues to finalize it. And we really had those glasses on that were sparkling, and we were looking forward to just a continued upward trajectory to serve our region, make it as strong as it possibly can be, not only just with flight growth, but associated economic development that comes along with that, but job creation and connecting virtually everybody that lives, works, or plays in this area to the rest of the country and the rest of the world. Clearly, beginning in the late January, early February, and by all means March, we all got shaken to the core, and we continue to kind of stay very, very focused in on our dreams still exist and our vision for this airport and what it means to Broward County and the larger region as a whole. So that we are very focused in on this too shall pass. It's just a question of time, and what does the other side exactly look like when we get there.
The airport is set to benefit from a $1.2 billion in federal grants to improve safety and infrastructure that were announced a couple weeks ago. Of that money, over $7 million will be given to the airport to install lighting, to rehabilitate a taxiway, and install a visual guidance system. How much assistance does the grant program provide in offsetting some of the lost performance of this year?
So the grant that we received from the federal government, and like all of our colleagues, when you have an opportunity to get grant money that's in the millions of dollars, you jump at that opportunity. We normally take grant money from the federal government, and we were engaged in a project last year. Many folks remember we're a two-runway airport, our north runway and our south runway, and it was time to completely rebuild the north runway. It had been in existence for a long time. It carries this airport, and we decided to actually completely rebuild it. And we completed that work in record time last year, and we were going through the closeout process, and we had used funding sources. When you fly as a passenger on board an airplane, inside what you pay for your ticket is a user fee that airports are able to retrieve and use for different types of projects. It's called a passenger facility charge. Most of the time, that's about a $4.50 charge. We had proposed to pay for much of that runway rehab using our passenger facility charge, putting that PFC, as we call it, to really, really great use. When the FAA comes back later and says, hey, we have some additional grant money for you, we decided to take that money, use that on the runway project, and then reimburse ourselves, if you will, for those PFCs. It puts that $7 million back into a pot that we could use for other types of projects, safety, security, enhancements to our facilities to drive competition, which, to your earlier point, When the airport in the April days of this year dropped to almost zero activity, revenue really scraping the bottom, and frankly, not a whole lot better just yet. Those grant dollars come into play. We were very fortunate to be the recipient of approximately $135 million of grant money through the CARES Act that came into our possession. We've decided to apply approximately $95 million of that $135 million pot in this fiscal year that we're coming to a close at right now to pay for payroll, for debt service, and for other expenditures that we've incurred where we didn't have the revenue coming in. And we've saved approximately 40 million for next fiscal year because we truly believe that we're going to be not out of this anytime in the near coming months. Um, Grant money is incredibly important. I would say, however, we're very hopeful that Congress, that the R's and the D's can get together. There needs to be, we believe, a second stimulus package of sorts that's able to continue to be applied to airlines, to airports, to airport service contracts and whatnot, so that we can continue to manage through the next year and come out of this even better than we were before.
Due to the reduced foot traffic and traffic in general in the airport, has that enabled you to move forward with these projects at a quicker pace? And how is this affecting ultimately the master plan?
So in the first part, with respect to moving through projects, we, like many other airports around the country prior to the onset of COVID, have a joke that airports are always under construction. In fact, we refer to ourselves as construction sites that airplanes fly into, and we certainly were no stranger to that. Virtually every terminal at our airport was under construction. When the pandemic hit, working with our airlines, we decided to strategically close significant portions of our airport facility. Concourse A, which is a beautiful, almost brand new international concourse in Terminal 1 with its own Federal Inspection Service area beneath it, with U.S. Customs and Border Protection operating there. Our international flight activity essentially ceased, so we decided to close that facility up temporarily and save dollars that go along with maintaining and operating that facility. But in concourses, E and F, they're under construction. Concourse D was under construction. We were actually able to work with our partners to close off portions of those facilities and try to accelerate the construction, take advantage of a bad thing, if you will, and save a little dollars to be able to, again, finish the construction earlier so that when passengers come back in larger numbers, we have brand new shiny facilities waiting for them, and they're going to enjoy our facility all that much more. We're hopeful, obviously, that we do get past this pandemic rather quickly. We want to have everybody lined up and clapping for our passengers when they start coming back into our terminals in droves, so that they can see the hard work that everybody's been doing while they've been away.
As the state pushes to reopen, traveler confidence is going to be key. And in that, you have put together Fly Safer, Fly Smarter, Fly Better using the FLL airport code. Tell us a little bit more about that program and what you seek to accomplish.
We absolutely love our Fly Safer, Fly Smarter, Fly Better program. You got to take advantage of the things that you have at your fingertips, and we just happen to have an identifier that's FLL, and it was very easy to add that Y. And why? Because we want you to be here at the airport. Look, in today's transportation environment, everybody is concerned ultimately about their safety. Is it safe in the airplane? I'm sitting next to somebody for hours on end. Is it safe as I'm walking through the terminal facility? Is it safe while I'm on the bus that's coming from the rental car facility? Is it safe in the Uber or Lyft that I'm driving to the airport? Any opportunity to inject concern on behalf of the passenger is what we're attempting to try to not only accomplish or overcome ourselves, but also with our business partners. So our Fly Safer, Fly Smarter, Fly Better program is emphasizing all the efforts that we're doing to disinfect and sanitize our facility on a regular basis, whether it's wiping down surfaces repeatedly, whether it's using technology like electrostatic spraying or even ultraviolet light on handrails to disinfect them continuously. But we work also with our airline partners, our concession partners, our rental car partners. We've installed sneeze guards all around the airport, social distance markers. Everybody has a role to play here in order to make sure that the journey of the passengers, if you will, through our facility are in fact safe. When you talk about what tomorrow looks like, will those things go away right away? I sincerely doubt it. I think we're looking at what could be measures that are in place not only for months to come, potentially years to come going forward.
They say that crisis breeds opportunity. And what are some of the innovations that you've seen arise in the past number of months, and what are the opportunities you see ahead?
Well, when we talk about the things that said technology, I made a statement not long ago to somebody else that sometimes the speed of technology and innovation outpaces the speed of acceptance or understanding, and we've pushed ourselves into this world, this contactless society, if you will, where it's no longer paying with cash. You have to use PayPal or your iPhone or something along those lines. Not everyone is equipped to operate in that society equally, but we, even though we like to think of ourselves as a business, we are part of county government, and we have an obligation to make sure that the services that we provide, to our patrons are available to everybody across the board. Our businesses that operate here, concessions, airlines, other travel services and whatnot, we implore them that as you're looking for new ways to do things in today's society, don't forget that not everybody has the ability to operate that way. So we continue to look at how technology is not only able to make us more efficient. Sometimes we have to do these things just as a matter of keeping everybody safe. Portions of our staff we have found are teleworking at home, and we can manage the operation successfully for a portion of our staff. But the larger portion of our staff are public facing every single day, the heroes, if you will, that are out there on the front lines, keeping our airport operational, whether it's electricians or mechanics or people that are working on air conditioning systems and, restrooms being cleaned and whatnot. All those folks are on the front lines, and you cannot do that teleworking. You have to be there. And I think that they don't get enough credit. And I think that as we press ahead, everybody should remember that some don't have that opportunity or that advantage, and we should be grateful for their services each and every day.
Mark, the travel industry has been tested to the extremes this year. And so my last question to you is, what does resilience mean? What have you learned about resilience over the past number of months?
Our airport has faced a number of challenges over the last several years. We've had aircraft incidents. We've had different types of natural, disasters, if you will, hurricanes and whatnot. And we've even had some unfortunate man-made ones with a shooting that occurred back in 2017. But to each one of those challenges, I'd say that not only does our team rise, but our business partner rise, our community rises as a whole. There are many that I speak to about our airport that when you are closely situated to a larger airport, if you will, within 20 miles, what do we have to offer better than our colleagues down the road? And we have long been known to be the airport that is lower cost, that's easier to get in and out. That's the perception that people have. We don't look at ourselves that way much. We look at ourselves as an airport of choice for a variety of different reasons. Even though our traffic has diminished significantly, because of that intrinsic value that we offer, we're dominated by low-cost carriers, primarily Southwest, Spirit, and JetBlue, but a host of others. But we also have a large, diverse portfolio of other airlines, legacy carriers like United, American, and Delta. And we're looking for the international component in our airport environment to get back. Some of it's out of our control. we're starting to see flights, let's say, for example, to Colombia re-engage now with Cartagena and Medellin and Bogota starting to come back. But international traffic is being largely driven by the other countries as to whether or not they're open or whatnot. So I think what you'll see in FLL is our ongoing and trade brand of resiliency in our people, in our facilities, in our business partners here. What we have to offer as a destination market, sun, sand, beaches, hopefully the cruises. We're hearing positive things that maybe the cruise industry will be back up and running, hopefully here by year end. And that will again help boost us going into next year. I mean, we're not going to go into this with blinders on that. Again, this is a flip of the switch and everything is back to normal. This is going to be a process, but we won't be successful in that process unless we're working collaboratively with all of our partners. And that includes chambers and the Greater Lauderdale Alliance and the Hotel Association and many, many others, Convention and Visitors Bureau as our partners to make sure that we're all rowing this proverbial boat, if you will, or flying the plane in the same direction. And I think if we do that, hopefully by mid 2021, certainly late 2021, we'll start to see some resemblance of normalcy. Because I don't like to think that this is the new normal. I'd like to think that we're going to get back to something better than what we have right now.
Well, thank you again. That was Mark Gale, the CEO and Director of Aviation for the Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport. We would like to thank Banyan Health Systems for their support in making this video possible today. Do see the description for more information. My name is Abby Malone, and you've been watching Invest Insights. Thank you for tuning in. Hey everyone, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you can stay up to date on the latest business trends from our knowledgeable experts. Be sure to check out the description below for more information on the segment you just watched. Thanks for tuning in.